All right, one of the challenges I've always had is organizing my gear properly so that I can manage it in the tree. I've tried a bunch of different things and I ain't come up with a real good solution, but you've got them. So walk me through how you do it, Jared.
So if you ask 10 different people how they're gonna set up their gear, you're gonna get 10 different answers. So this is a very individualized thing, but the best thing I can tell you and the best tip I can give you is to pack the pockets on your saddle in order that you need them. So the very first thing that Aaron's gonna need in his saddle is his lineman's rope and his tether so he can get set up in the tree. But once you get past those two items in the pockets, you're gonna have your other gear items stacked in there in kind of the order that you need them. So the next thing for me, I would need my his strap so I could start putting my other gear on the tree. So
Yep.
Aaron's got that in his right side pocket.
That was right underneath my tether.
Yep.
So like you said, I took the tether out when I got into the tree, and
Yep.
now it's on the tree, and underneath it is my hip strap.
Yep. So the his strap is super cool because it's very, very simple, but it's public land legal. You don't have to screw anything into the tree. You can wrap this around the tree, you can hang all of your gear off of it, and you don't have to penetrate the bark with a hook or anything like that.
What height should I put this at?
So I typically go right underneath of my tether, and I like to have my bow hanging off of the his strap where I can just reach my hand straight out to the grip on it and pick the bow up. So it's gonna vary a little bit with your different bow lengths and whatnot, but I typically go right underneath of my tether.
Okay. All right, now I've got the his strap up there, but I'm not tightening it just yet. I'm leaving a little bit of tension in there. That's because I want to put my fold and go up and hang it off of this his strap before I do anything else. I've got my fold and go right here. This is what I'm going to hang my bow off of. And since I'm a right-handed shooter, I'm going to be set up right here. I'm hoping that the deer are coming right where Jared's standing. So I want to have the minimal amount of movement possible whenever I go to grab my bow and get in position for a shot. I'll go ahead and put this fold and go here, and this is why you leave a little bit of slack in this strap. It's because you want to go up through this loop, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Jared.
Yep.
But you go right up through that loop with the whole thing.
Yep, and then you're gonna take this little hook and just
Right
slide
there.
over the back.
I don't know if y'all can see that with the camera, but might get in there tight. You can see that that's going on the hook, just like that. Now I can go over here. I can finish tightening my his strap. Now that's good and solid, and I can pull up my bow and hang it up. Which just happens to be right here. All right. And like I said, my bow's in position where all I got to do is grab it and be in position for a shot. Now that I've got that set, the reason why you set that first is so that you've got that slack pulled out on your his strap, because now you can see that bow's pulling some weight into it. You want that thing to be tight. And then you go into your backpack, right?
It's whatever order makes sense to you. So everybody's gonna do it a little bit different. I would typically hang my pack and then pull my bow up as kind of the last thing, but whatever makes sense to you, there's really no wrong way to do it.
Just as long as you've got the fold and go up there.
As long as you got your hooks ready to go, you're good.
All right. I got my backpack hung off one of these S-beaners right here
Yep.
on this tag end of my his strap.
And that's pretty much it. And then you can, if you've got binos, a grunt call, a rangefinder, you can hang all of that on there in whatever way makes sense, for you. And it's all right there within easy reach. You don't have to fumble around with anything. So it just makes it super, super easy.
Once you get your equipment, get it up in the yard and practice doing this a bunch before season. And that'll get you more familiar with your pocket structure, with your gear, and how you're gonna manage it once you get up there. Because this is much easier said than done. We're a foot off the ground in broad daylight. But if you're out here tired at 4 o'clock in the morning, it's good to have some familiarity with your equipment.
Yeah, it's very important to take some time and really figure out what works best for you. Develop a system that you can do in the dark, blindfolded, basically. You want to be able to do it without even thinking about it.
Yeah.
So.
That's it. Our gear's stowed, it's managed, ready to hunt.